Vladimir Putin recently ordered his military to attack Ukraine harder to boost his 2024 re-election hopes, RadarOnline.com has learned. In the latest development to come as Putin prepares for Russia's next presidential election in March 2024, the 71-year-old tyrant reportedly pushed his forces to make more advances in Ukraine. According to the Institute for the Study of War, the ongoing war in Ukraine serves as the centerpiece of Putin's 2024 re-election bid. Russian forces are under pressure to fully seize and maintain the initiative into the early months of 2024 before the upcoming March Russian presidential elections, the institute said on Monday. Meanwhile, intelligence sources recently revealed that the Russian military is losing an estimated 1,000 soldiers per day in its war against Ukraine. Putin's call for his men to fight harder in Ukraine ahead of the March election comes as the most challenging winter conditions approach. Additional sources indicated that Russia would begin to lose even more men once winter hits. As RadarOnline.com previously reported, Putin officially announced his 2024 re-election bid last week. The 2024 election is scheduled to take place on March 17, and only one Russian opposition leader has challenged Putin with only 3 months left to go. Should Putin win next year's election, he would be inaugurated in May. He would also be allowed to run for 2 more 6-year terms, meaning the 71-year-old leader could potentially remain in office until 2036. Opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who was jailed by Putin in January 2021, called on the people of Russia to boot the Russian despot from office at the voting booths on March 17. Putin views this election as a referendum on approval of his actions, Navalny said earlier this month. A referendum on approval of the war. Let's disrupt his plans and make it happen so that no one on March 17 is interested in the rigged result, but that all of Russia saw and understood. The will of the majority is that Putin must leave, he added. Other sources suggested that Putin might be removed from power before the next Russian presidential election unfolds as the Russian Federal Security Service works to pinpoint a potential successor. The FSB controls and rules Russia, one Kremlin insider said in August. The entire process of the Russian presidential election and the election computer which calculates the vote is by law controlled by the FSB. The FSB choose the next president of Russia, he continued at the time. If we see suddenly that the prime minister is changed to somebody else, let's say Nikolai Patrushev, this will be an indication that they're making Patrushev the president.